What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Addiction. Welcome back to another COD mobile video. So today we are going to be discussing the patch notes for the upcoming Season 4 for Call of Duty Mobile. So this is the real deal. This is no April Fool's joke. These are basically all the real patch notes that we are getting for Season 4. I know I did make an April Fool's type of patch notes video, but come on, guys. Let's be real. We finally have what we're actually getting for the next season. And it is pretty exciting. There's a lot of changes that are kind of been a long time coming, as well as changes that are kind of unexpected as well. So before we get into this, make sure to leave a like, make sure to also subscribe for some more Call of Duty Mobile content. Let's actually get into this video. So starting off strong with the MJ42, they reduced the multipliers for the chest and upper arms, going from 1.1 times to 1 times. So basically, you're not going to get any extra damage. You're just going to get the default damage from the MJ42, and that's basically it. But it does impact the gun a lot, making it a lot harder to kill enemies. And they also did add some movement penalties for the 250 round box. Now we move on to a gun that's been highly requested to get nerfed for such a long time, which is the USS 9. So the 32 round mag that everyone's been running around with now has a 15% ADS BSA penalty, making it a lot less accurate, especially in the longer ranges. And for no stock, they reduced the ADS movement speed from 20% to 12%. According to a lot of people, this doesn't really seem to be enough of a change for the USS 9. People are calling for a much more stronger nerf for the weapon, specifically with the range. Of course, the problem with the USS 9 has always been the range. It's kind of, it's kind of been like a sniper rifle in a SMG form. Again, if anything, they should have just removed that range buff that you would get for using this mag. I think that probably would have made things a lot better. I mean, the BSA penalty is pretty welcoming, but it could be better. So now we move on to the Odin. It did get a 8% flinch penalty for the light stock, which again, it's the Odin. It's a much heavier weapon, so I don't really think it's gonna affect the weapon that much. And for the operator foregrip, they added an 8% ADS movement speed penalty. So this is kind of unheard of, especially for the operator foregrip, because usually it just reduces your ADS speed by 8%. But this is the first time any sort of operator foregrip has had some sort of ADS movement speed penalty. So the Odin's the very first one to have this. So the Type 19 was also a weapon that got nerfed. The sprint speed got reduced from 6.34 meters per second to 6.1 meters per second. And the accurate supportive long barrel also did get a movement speed penalty increase from 2% to 4%. So in terms of damage or range, it's basically going to more or less stay the same. The only difference is its movement. So you're not going to be able to move as fast, but that's basically it. It may not impact too much given that we can now use 2 red perks, so just using Skulker and also using Lightweight might just put it back to how most people want it to be. The HS-0405 did get a increase to its fire interval, basically meaning that it's going to shoot a lot slower. It went from 1211 milliseconds to 1280 milliseconds, sorry. And yeah, it's gonna shoot a little bit slower, but given how much range it has over the other shotguns, especially since this one's more of a spread shot than anything, if you don't include the thunder rounds, yes, this is a well-warranted change for a shotgun like this. And this actually seems to be a change for the weapon in general, basically meaning that it's going to affect multiplayer and battle royale at the same time, because I mean, it's not saying MP only or BR only, so this is a change that's going to affect the gun across the board. So the CXFR stock for the CX9, which is basically, I think, the stock that gives you ADS speed and ADS movement speed, has gotten a new hit flinch penalty buff. So now it's going to go from 8% to 20%, meaning that if you do want to use this stock, just be ready to flinch a lot more than before. So now we move on to a change that has a lot of people scratching their heads as to why they bothered to change this in the first place. We do have the Man of War Thermite ammo. They basically increased the damage profile for the Thermite, making it from 10 to 9, from 15 to 9. I don't even know what that means, but basically, if anything, it seems like it's a damage buff. But it's not a buff to the burning damage, from what I understand. People are trying to clarify that online. So yes, I think it's going to kill more or less the same, but I think they might have made a change like this to kind of combat people that are using a mix of Dauntless and Flak Jacket with the red perk greed. As for people that don't really use any of those 2 perks, I'm sure most of you guys use at least one of those. It might impact it a little bit, especially for those that don't have any of those perks like myself. It might kill a tiny bit faster, but maybe not. I'm still expecting you to die within 2 thermite shots. So I don't really see this being too much of a problem, but again, we have counters in place to stop people from spamming this shit like crazy. So the AK-117 did get an increased ADS movement speed from 3.09 meters per second to 3.28 meters per second. So it's a slight change to the ADS movement speed. I don't really expect it to be so much of a difference, but if you do use some sort of marksman barrel with a no stock type of combo, it might be just a little bit faster. They also got a buff. They basically increased the movement speed from 4.92 meters per second to 5.14 meters per second. It's not, again, I mean, it's the ISO. Not a lot of people are using it, but if people found it to be a little bit too slow, I mean, here's a change to it. So yeah. So one of the changes that I'm actually excited about is also the Striker 45. So first, when I looked at the patch notes, I thought they were talking about the shotgun Striker, but no, they're actually talking about the SMG Striker. So they increased the ADS time from 240 milliseconds to 210 milliseconds, making it a little bit faster, as well as increasing the BSA accuracy from 23 to 20. So again, it's not a major amount, but it's enough to at least have it compete against the USS 9 and the GKS. But this, I feel like this is something that Striker has needed for quite a long time. So the QXR did get a change to basically its enhanced bolt. So the chest multiplier did get increased from 1.1 times to 1.2 times. So I did calculate this because I want to see exactly how much of a change this would make. But basically, from what I've come to realize, that it's not going to be too much of a difference, but basically you're going to be having a higher chance of four-shotting within the second range, which just goes up to like maybe about 21 plus meters. I don't really see it making too much of a difference. It's probably not going to really entice players to actually using it. So again, this change, as decent as it can be potentially, I don't really think it's going to have people flock towards it. So they also did work on improving the QQ9's BSA. It went from 30 to 2516, and they also increased the bullet impact for the 10 millimeter rounds. But a lot of people have speculated as to why this change even happened in the first place. A lot of people are speculating that because the QQ9 has that melting point skin, it's going to be part of that Volcanic series armory, but I don't really think that's going to be the case, at least as far as what I know, because of all the weapons that are so far leaked to be part of it, the QQ9 melting point isn't really one of them yet. So for all we know, for season 4, that might actually change. But as of right now, like, my best guess as to why they did this is probably just to improve it a little bit further. But that's basically it. So the PPSH 41, Tech 9, and PKM got some pretty minor changes. I wasn't really gonna like go into each of them individually. PPSH 41, it's a little faster. Tech 9 is a little more accurate with hipfire, and PKM, you're just gonna flinch a little bit less, but that's basically it. So we got some changes for the operator skills as well as some score streaks. So attack 5 energy requirement got increased, so that basically means that it's going to take a little longer to obtain. And for bull charge, whenever you kill someone, basically there's going to be more energy consumed, meaning that the more people you kill, the faster this thing's going to go away. As for the claw, they increased the duration from 14 seconds to 20 seconds, which is something I feel like the claw kind of needed. It doesn't have a lot of ammo, but there are moments where I still might have some ammo left, and having it there a little bit longer might save my life. And I've gotten killed a few times just because the duration was kind of cut down a bit. For the Shadow Blade, the duration got increased from 20 seconds to 25 seconds. Cool, I guess. The RCXD added duration from unlimited to 60 seconds. Again, most people probably don't even care about this. I kind of forgot this even existed. For the VTOL, the duration increased from 40 seconds to 45 seconds. The gunship cost decreased from 1800 to 1700. Again, I don't really see a lot of people using any of these things, especially when it comes to ranked. So we got a lot of different changes for BR. The AK-117 got some damage nerfs as well as BSA nerfs. The Tech 9 also got some nerfs for its multipliers and hipfire spread. And the M13 was really the only BR weapon that got buffed, so they just improved the ADS BSA just slightly. But for the class adjustments, they kind of just buffed a few things. Desperado specifically, they increased the turret fire rate. They also helped with Trapmaster, Jet Boost, Hacker, and Rewind. You guys could kind of just stop the video to see exactly what they changed, but I don't really play BR, so I don't really care about these changes at all. So there you have it. Those are basically all the patch notes for Season 4. Again, it could be a little bit better, specifically with the nerfs, but with the buffs, they're kind of always welcomed, well, except for the Man of War Thermite round. But As for everything else, like the Striker 45, the QQ9, those are pretty welcoming changes, and it might equal the playing field a little bit more since the USS 9 got a bit of a nerf. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe for some more COD mode content. I'll see you guys next time.